Okay, well my name is Mary Delmastro, and today I'm going to teach you how to make tiramisu, the coffee-based Italian dessert. I spent a couple years living in Italy, and so I had the opportunity to learn how to make a couple different recipes of tiramisu, and the one I'm going to share with you today I think is one of the best, and it also has the advantage of being the simplest. I say that it's simple in the sense that it doesn't require any measuring cups, and you don't have to bake it. And if you mess up the amounts of the ingredients you put in, it's not going to be a problem. It's still going to taste great. I can assure you of that. So I'm going to teach you how to make tiramisu in 3 steps. And those 3 steps correspond to 3 layers of ingredients. So tiramisu is made by assembling different layers of ingredients. Okay, so step 1, here we go, consists of 2 ingredients. And those 2 ingredients are cookies and coffee. You can remember them because they both start with the letter C. And what you're going to do is make a big pot of coffee, let it cool, put it in a large bowl, and then you're going to go to your cookies, which should be ladyfingers cookies. If you don't have ladyfinger cookies, you could use vanilla wafers, something that is dry and will absorb the coffee itself. So you're going to take a cookie and you're going to just dip it in the coffee for a second or 2 so it basically absorbs some coffee. And then you're going to put it in the bottom of a cake pan, a regular 13 by 9 inch cake pan. And you're going to continue that until the whole bottom of the pan is covered in these coffee soaked cookies. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is the most complicated step, and it involves 3 ingredients. Those ingredients are sugar, white sugar, eggs, and mascarpone cheese, which is a soft Italian cheese that you can find at Wegmans or most grocery stores. And what you're going to do is take 5 eggs, okay, and separate the yolks from the whites. Put the whites aside for a minute, go to your 5 yolks, and to them add 5 heaping teaspoons of white sugar. Then to that, you're going to add 500 grams of the mascarpone cheese. Now, I know we don't usually talk about grams in terms of measuring ingredients in this country, but it's going to be advantageous in this recipe in the sense that mascarpone cheese usually comes in tubs of 500 grams, and you also may have noticed that we're adding it to 5 eggs and 5 heaping teaspoons of sugar. So it's a very simple 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, which will be helpful if you decide to make this in different amounts at some later time. So you've got your 5 yolks, your 5 heaping teaspoons of sugar, and your 500 grams of cheese, and you're going to mix that up. Go over to your egg whites and take an electric mixer and just whip those up until they're real white and they have those stiff peaks, and just fold it into the egg yolk mixture. Okay, that's step 2. What you're going to do with those is just pour them right on top take about half of it, pour it right on top of your cookies in your baking pan. Okay, and you can remember the ingredients for step 2 because they're all white. So if you think of white sugar and the white shell of an egg and the white mascarpone cheese. Okay, step 2. Step 3 is the simplest. Just take a chocolate candy bar and take a vegetable peeler and just start shaving off little spirals, little pieces of chocolate on top of your cheese mixture, okay, until it's basically covered. That's step 3. Now what you're going to do is repeat those steps. So go back to your cookies, dip them in some coffee, and just cover that layer of chocolate with another layer of cookies. After that, go back to your cheese, probably use the remaining cheese mixture just to cover up those cookies, and then after that, finish it off with a layer of chocolate on top. That's all. When you're done with that, just take the whole thing, put it in the fridge for about 4 to 8 hours. If you can leave it in overnight, that's great. But that is basically it. That's how you make tiramisu. Now, if you want to vary the recipe at all, consider adding some different ingredients to the coffee itself. So you might want to add a little bit of vanilla extract to give it a little different flavor. You could add amaretto or rum or some other kinds of liqueurs that you like to change the flavor up just a little bit. Instead of chocolate on top, you could put cocoa powder if you'd like. And so there's different variations you can make, but I encourage you to try the recipe. I think you'll find it very, very simple and very delicious. Thank you very much.